another On This Day by the Anfield Wrap, and on this day, the Liverpool legend that is Divock Origi signed for Liverpool, the best player in Liverpool's history. Ian Ryan discuss.
Did you ever think you'd be saying Divock Origi,
yeah.
Liverpool
When he put that
legend?
pen to paper, I knew that 90 plus 6 was good. No, joking.
Honestly, I mean, the lad, I mean, to suddenly find himself being talked about in that way now, I mean, he can't probably believe it himself. I mean, when you think about how close he comes to leaving the club, you know, he has that loan spell in Germany, doesn't he, which doesn't go great. And then there was talk of one or two of the Premier League clubs being interested in him, chances to move back. Yeah, absolutely. So, and you know, those loans didn't go great for Divock, but somehow he's managed to kind of put himself in the history of this football club to the point where he'll be talked about forever. He will be talked about forever. What he did last year, I mean, you just can't underestimate what he did last year. I mean, the goals against Barcelona, and obviously the goal in the final as well. And it's mad because in the final he's terrible, isn't he? He's really bad. He comes on, he can't do anything right, but he does the most important thing right, and he puts it in the bottom corner, and that means he will always be a Liverpool legend, and he'll be spoken about in that way forever and a day. But I think what also always occurs to me with Divock as well is just, he's one of those lads that I think Klopp loves because he just buys into it, he gets it. And I think there was a little story after the final where Klopp said he didn't think for 1 second he'd be starting that game, even though most players would have thought, I've just scored 2 against Barcelona, I've got us to the European Cup final, but he knew Bobby was going to be starting ahead of him. But it didn't faze him, it didn't bother him, it didn't cause any trouble. He just prepared in the right way, and then when he comes on, he does that most important thing, which is put it in the back of the net. And it's still mad that he can't seem to celebrate. But I don't know whether it's because of that thing where I think people have posted on Twitter, have Villa when he scores that goal in the 6-0 win, and that like gets a grip of him and throws the lips on him, doesn't he? And it's like, and he's like, I don't know whether he's like scarred and he'll never ever want to go near the fans again. So he just gives that little celebration when he trots off. But yeah, my God, what a journey for the lad, because I thought his time at the club was finished. I didn't think he'd have a Liverpool career, if I'm being honest. But I think you've seen, actually, he's a real confidence player. So many strikers are, aren't they? But yeah, he's obviously signed a new deal, and he's obviously going to be here for the foreseeable, hopefully. And hopefully he's got a part to play next season as well. And
5 years ago, he signed as like a young lad, quite unassuming, tall but quite lanky, I'd say. And I remember, so he signed 2014, so I don't know if it was the 15-16 season, where he was picking up quite a bit of form. I don't know if it was 15-16, was it, where Funes Mori with that awful tackle at Anfield. And I actually was right in front. I was right in front of it, and I heard the scream, and I thought he's done. And then, so he didn't feature for the rest of that season. And then I think the loan come, and I honestly thought that's his career done at Liverpool. And I didn't think any of us felt too much about it at the time. Really.
I remember watching him in the World Cup in 2014. I thought, no, there looks like there's a player there. And then obviously Jürgen gets hold of him, and he starts to play really well, and he becomes key in that season. You know, Liverpool go to Dortmund, and I remember at the time people thinking, Sturridge is going to be starting this, but he goes with Divock up top on his own. He's great, he scores the goal, and he's brilliant until that incident in the derby where Funes Mori does him. And he was looking so sharp, so fantastic. You know, you could argue if Divock stays fit, you know, it could have been a different end to the season. But yeah, he was great. But you do start to wonder whether that was just a flash in the pan or whether actually that was his true level. It was hard to know because you never really saw it again and again. I think, you know, confidence from him after having that injury hit him really hard. You know, you can probably imagine not wanting to go in for tackles and stuff in case, you know, the ankle's not quite right. So it's taken him a bit of time to get back to anywhere near that level. But I think, you know, there was even signs last year where he had to fill in. I remember the game at Watford, playing left-hand side, looked really good, cutting in off the left, scores a goal that night. So, yeah, one hell of a ride for the lad, and still relatively young as well. So I hope he gets more opportunities this season. I think the only thing you would say is, you know, maybe he's not quite elite level where he can cover for some of our front three, but that doesn't change the fact that he will be a Liverpool legend forever.
He will be, and I will always remember. I will always remember the Everton one as well. Gonna have to. It was one of the best goals ever. And I just wanted, just before this goal, can you remember when Klopp was preparing to bring him on, and he'd hardly even made the bench?
No.
And I remember Origi making the bench and being like, oh, Origi's on the bench today, and then he brings him on, and we were all, I can't remember who I was screaming for, but it certainly wasn't him. And I remember just being a lot of puzzled heads going, he's bringing on Origi, and then that?
There was moans and groans that day because we hadn't seen him for such a long time, and you're thinking, you know, is that what we're relying on now to try and win this game of football? Because we hadn't been great that day, had we, to be fair? A bit of poor day at the office. And he misses a really good chance earlier on. He misses a really good opportunity to put us one up. But then he's alive to the situation. So I think Big Verge, just turns away, thinking it's gone over the bar. And then Pickford does the business, doesn't he? And Divock's on hand to knock it in, and it was brilliant. It's one of the highlights of the season. But as I say, you know, Divock Origi contributed more than most last season in terms of special moments. You know, as I say, you know, it didn't feature loads in terms of 90 minutes, but those key moments, those big moments, those moments that like live forever in the memory, he contributed loads to that last season.
I think he's an example to the kids as well, that if you do keep working, look at what he's gone through and look at where he is now. And like you said, the special moments, thank you so much, Divock Origi, for 90+6. I even said to my dad, I argued with him last night, that I think the Newcastle one was huge. I think it was absolutely huge. And yeah, it might not have amounted to anything, but you know what? I remember sat there and I've not seen it in a way, and so sad and glum. And it was like, our title hopes were done. Steps up Divock Origi, all of a sudden we were winning the league again with however many games to go. And
I've just got shivers then, you know, when you said that Newcastle game, honestly.
That Newcastle goal, I haven't seen in a way and go off like that. And there was people going, we can still win this thing. And he gave us that hope, the hope that we've not had for so long. And, you know, we don't even have to talk about Barcelona, and then Madrid is, you know, he goes down in history for that. So he signed 5 years ago today. He's just signed a new contract as well. So we look forward to seeing more of you, Divock Origi. Here's hoping for a 90+8 goal this season.